What's going on, HCL fans? It's Gordon Sine here, coach of the New Jersey Giratinas, and this week I am bringing you the week 4 Pickem. Now, I know Bnash and I were not here last week. We were both pretty busy, and I don't know where Bnash is this week. I haven't heard from him, so I will be doing the Pickem by myself. Hopefully Bnash and I will both be back for next week, but until then, let's get into the video. So starting off, we're going to take a look at week 3, and just to this first match here, everybody seemed to be pretty wrong. I think more people were rooting against Collin than thinking Gaytor was going to win, but Collin proved most of us wrong and beat Gaytor, so got the win there. Most people were pretty accurate with Valor over Ursa. Same with Fish over Red. Same with me over Mick. Same goes for Rozzy and for Mike over Cog and Golem. Right now in the league for the Pickem is Gaytor and PokeRangerMike at 13 and 2 each respectively. Meanwhile, the fans are tied with Bnash at 12 and 6. Remember, the fans and Bnash, their records are slightly different just because they get to vote on every match. Moving on to week 4, our first match is Gaytor versus CogSentient, and I picked Cog because I think Cog has some interesting sets. Also, Gaytor's only defense really is Toxapex and Gothitelle, and I think Cog can build around that pretty well with his team. I think if Cog preserves some of his more offensive mons, instead of sacking them off early like he did against Rozzy, that he'll be able to come away with a win. Not a lot of people are betting on Cog either, and seeing that I'm a little behind in my record, if Cog wins, it will definitely help me out, so that's another reason why I picked Cog. Moving on to our next match, we have UrsaSupreme versus GolemGaming, the Cubchoos versus the Aerodactyls, and most people, including myself, went with Ursa, and it's definitely hard to call since they're both at the bottom of the league right now, but I think Ursa has a slight advantage here. I just think Ursa's been playing a little more creatively than Golem has. However, I could see Golem walking away with a win as well. So it's really anyone's game, but I think more people just think Ursa's playstyle is giving him an advantage here. On to our third match, we have Fish's Toledo Tympoles versus EpicMic Boston Bronzongs. And once again, it's pretty one-sided. Most people picking Fish here, and I think that's mostly because Fish is undefeated. However, Mick has showed that he can be a very strong player, putting me down to only a 1-0 win, and also getting a 5-0 against Rozzy week 1. So Mick does have a chance in this battle, but again, Fish has just proven to be the better battler so far. Moving on to our fourth match, we have the Denver Avaluggs coached by Rozzy versus the Boston Delphox coached by Red. And this one was more split. I think I gave the advantage to Red in this match, mainly because I think Red has been just playing a little better, in my opinion. Also, Gliscor is a huge threat. Now, I know Rozzy has Avalugg, but besides Avalugg, Gliscor can kind of run through this team, especially if it has recovery, which most Gliscors do. So, I think that's going to be huge for Red. On top of that, he uses Mega Slowbro very well. So, I think it's going to be a challenge for Rozzy. However, I think it's going to be a very close match. Moving on to our fifth match, we have PokeRangerMike's Lake Champlain Lapras versus Collin's Valencia Venusaurs, and I think I'm a little surprised that the voting's so one-sided here, and that's mainly because both these coaches have shown to be very strong coaches, but I get why most people pick Mike, seeing that so far he's undefeated, so it makes sense. However, I'm going for Collin for 2 reasons. I think Collin can be a surprise, and he's surprised many coaches so far. On top of that, I need Mike to lose. Mike's in my division. I don't want Mike to win, so I'd rather see Collin win that match. moving on to our last match this week. It is my match, the New Jersey Giratinas versus Valor and the Dallas Darmanitans. And, as it's been most weeks, people are rooting against Valor rather than, I think, actually picking who they think will win, because I have no idea how I'm going to do. I'm quite scared of Valor. I am 3-0, but Valor's 2-1, so it's going to be close. Valor's definitely a top threat, so I'm worried about that match. And, again, little surprised so many people are pulling for me, but again, I know people like Cog are more rooting against Valor rather than thinking I'm going to win, so... That being said, it'll be interesting to see. Again, I'm not allowed to have an opinion, but my partner, Bnash, who is not here this week, did pick me. I'm not quite sure why, because he usually picks against me because, quoting Bnash, he hates me. But, you know, he did pick me this week. Again, not quite sure why, but it's nice to know people have confidence in me. That is all our matches for this week. I will be back next week, hopefully with Bnash for Week 5 to bring you the Week 5 Pick'em. But until then, I've been Gordon Sine, signing off.